It's Thursday, March 19th, and I'm here with a special guest. Not Sparky the dog, but Evelyn. Evelyn is going to take over, and she's going to give us a lesson that deals all with everything she's learned about art, not just from me, but because she never had me as a teacher in Craven County for art. Mm-hmm. But you've lived with me your whole life, I would expect. Yeah, that's my daughter. She graduated from New Bern High last year, so she's had art classes in the county. And we've talked art, and she likes art, so she wanted to do a little thing today, so I'm going to let her take it over from here.
Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving Miss Kamarowski a full makeup.
Oh, boy.
Transition.
You're going to put the stuff here.
I'm going to put the stuff
here.
On here.
Yeah.
So
the pigment,
color, foundation, a base, primer, colors, rainbow. Ooh, big. So things that can transition from what you see every day in an art class to makeup is one thing you might notice that you might see every day is a paintbrush. That's a paintbrush. You don't use that for makeup. But this right here is for eyeshadow. And you might think they look exactly the same. They pretty much are. But their difference is the material with the brushes. Sometimes it can be a synthetic brush for eyeshadow. And sometimes it can be just a natural hair.
And that goes the same for paintbrushes. Mm-hmm. Certain brushes for paint, depending on what type of paint you're using, might use synthetic hairs versus natural hairs, like squirrel and camel and boar's hair. So they do different things as opposed to what the other types would. Mm-hmm. Some are more flexible, some are soft, some are more, they hold their shape better. Mm-hmm. So it's different.
And so with this right here is natural hair. And that's just a regular eyeshadow brush. You use it for blending and the crease of your eyeshadow. And that's the thing with eyeshadow. We'll get to that, but there's very different things we can do. You blending, you creasing, make definitions for depending on the person's eye. If you can do one thing on my eye and it looks good, but if I did it on someone else, like my mom, it might not look the same because of different bone structures in our faces. Mm-hmm. And I have really big eyebrows, whereas my mom, her eyebrows aren't the same as mine. So, but we're going to start off. I already had my mom wash her face, put moisturizer on. Whenever you do makeup, make sure you wash your face and start with a good, clean slate. You don't want to be adding extra chemicals and stuff onto your face, on a dirty face, because that's just...
By dirty, you mean bacteria.
Bacteria,
that you just accumulate throughout the day. It happens. Mm-hmm. So
even when you wake up in the morning, if you want to go put on start your day, put makeup on, you still got to wash your face. It's just, even if you washed your face last night, you're still going to get stuff from your pillow on your face. So, but we're going to start off, we're going to start with a primer. So, my mom, she has a little bit of redness in her face. It's just natural. Mm-hmm. She's Irish. Mm-hmm. So
all sorts of Slavic descent and Heinz 57 American. So I got really pale skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we picked up a Blur Redness Control Pigment Primer. So we're gonna start off with this.
And the reason it's looks white, but it's got like a greenish tint to it that's real subtle. So green and red are complementary colors. That means they're opposite each other on the color wheel. And if you mix opposites, you get a neutral. Now neutral could be anywhere from black to brown. And in this case, white. So it makes your skin look just like it's a little, not as red and agitated like mine is.
So I'm going to actually let you apply this because I feel like the best way to apply it is with your fingers. I don't use a brush or anything, and I just rub it in like I would like a natural. And you really don't need a lot. You just need a little bit of like a tea.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
So I'm going to take this pea and squish it. And do. So where do I put this?
Just all over your face. Because you want to prime your whole entire face. So it does leave a little bit of a barrier from the foundation and other products you're going to put on your face, so it doesn't leave so much of...
I might need more. I got old lady skin.
Effect.
I need another pea. Now, I asked Ev if she'd be interested in being a guest doing this today, because I have a number of students that I know some of you really want to open up beauty salons for hair and for makeup, or get into movies, or you're just interested in color theory, or even visual representation and visual communication. And on all these days where you're home, if you're not feeling in the best mood and you're feeling kind of run down, if you go take a shower, you brush your hair, put on a little fancier outfit, you might feel a little bit better about yourself. So, all the things they tell you not to do, don't touch your face. I'm touching all my face. All right.
Okay. So one of the tools that I like to use is a beauty blender. Well, I know there is a big brand called Beauty Blender, and they have this same little guy, for like $40. No. This I honestly think works just as best or even better. And I think I got it for like maybe $2. Maybe you can find them for like 99 cents. It's just a sponge. But I think it works better than just using
It's a makeup
brush.
sponge. Yeah.
Yeah, don't use a sink sponge. That's big no.
No.
But one of my, I just picked up this foundation. It's called Juvia's Palace. If you notice in beauty community, there is a lot of foundation that focus more on the Caucasian side, where they focus more on paler skin, and they don't really go into a deep variation.
They don't embrace the beauty that we all have different skin colors.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, the market is biased towards that. So this brand, on the other hand,
they started focusing on more different colored, and they focus more on darker skin tones than lighter. And they start showing the darker skin tones first, and they work down to their lowest. Like, this is the lightest they go, but they're last in their selection. So, but
yeah, and I know you've seen some of that with you were saying ballet, Misty Copeland and things, and tell me about the shoes with ballet.
Yeah,
when you studied.
So
I'll be quiet while you do that.
I did get into makeup because of dance, because with dancing, and when you're performing on stage, you have lights shining on you. And the lights can blur you out and make you look older or pretty much like a ghost. So you have to put on a lot of makeup to give that effect that you're not dead. And so I got into makeup and because of that. And then Misty Copeland, if you haven't heard of her, she is a principal dancer with New York City. And she's one of the first... I
thought she was the first principal African American.
Yes, she's the first principal Black African American.
She's amazing.
And she is. She's amazing. People all around the world ask for her to perform with them, and she'll come. I know she's come to Winston-Salem, UNCSA, to perform in the Nutcracker with them. Can you suck in your lips?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But they're starting to variation point shoes, because point shoes have always been a light pink or like a white to match the line of the leg to make it look longer, so
to make it look like skin tones, but it ignores the fact that not everybody's pale and white. So to combat that, there are now companies that are coming out making shoes for people of all colors, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay.
So with foundation, I've learned over the years that it's very hard. And you might think, oh, it's not that hard. You're just putting one thing all over the face. But
you have to blend it.
You have to blend it in to look natural. You have to get in to little crevices like around the nose, under the eyes, and around there by the eyebrows. And that's one of my trickiest parts. Is in the eyebrow and the eyebrows, is you don't want to get it in the eyebrows because then the eyebrows are gone. Then you also have to, don't forget about the neck. Because if you forget about the neck,
it looks like you're wearing a mask.
Yes.
When I was a kid in the 90s and we put makeup on girls in the bathroom, it was like you could see these girls that had a line of orange on their face. It was like, no. That's probably one of the reasons I didn't wear much makeup. I wore a little bit growing up. Even today, I don't usually wear it as much.
And it's a good thing. I know a lot of girls will wear makeup every day, a full face of makeup. And yes, that is beautiful, and you should
take pride in your hygiene
and your appearance and your talent. And if it's something you're interested in, yes, go for it. Express your artistry. But don't forget, it is also okay to not wear makeup.
Yep. Whatever makes you feel beautiful.
So, okay.
Yay!
And then we're going to go with concealer next. So this will, with the concealer, you really only hit certain points of the face. So you really just go under the eyes. And it's just to give it like a little bit of a highlight on the face. And I go down the bridge of the nose.
Does this deal with contouring a little bit?
Yes, it deals with contouring and
Now,
different structures of the face.
So contouring, you're actually playing around with almost like a trick of the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like creating false highlights and shadows.
Yeah.
And as we know, when we draw something, if we're using value, you create the illusion of 3D form. So if you can put highlights, you can make other areas feel more pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
If you put shadows, you make them recede back.
Okay, I'm going to get under your eye.
Now, one of the artists we looked at was Cindy Sherman, and she is the master of disguise. She does self-portraits where she completely changes how she looks. Sometimes she looks old, sometimes she looks suntanned and sunburned, sometimes she looks young, sometimes she looks scared, and she takes all those self-portraits, but none of them look the same. And she used the tricks that people now call as contouring long before it was ever called contouring, where she plays with the camera and the light. And so did a lot of actors in theater. They would play around with lights and shadows, and they were able to play multiple characters and kind of play into the character they're playing, not just with their actions and their words and their postures and their body language, but also their makeup.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Mm-hmm. And now, I know this seems like a lot of steps, but there's just, you have to set the foundation and the skin, so with a powder. And I try to focus where I just did the concealer so it doesn't crease, because you do have wrinkles. No matter your age, you still have wrinkles under your eyes. And if you don't set it, it can start to crease.
Make you look like you have elephant skin.
And then I'll go around the rest of the face.
That smells good. What's in it? It smells nice.
Oh, it might be the brush spray. I just sprayed my brushes.
Because you clean your brushes in between.
Yes, you need to clean your brushes. I just picked up a brush bath spray just to clean them really quick. But it's always good to once a month at least once a month.
Even if you're the only one who uses them.
You need to clean them with
And really
hot
with makeup,
water.
you want to keep your own makeup to yourself.
Yes. Especially eye products. Like mascara and eyeliner. Okay. So we're almost done with the face. Next, I like to go in with a blush. So I'm going to dab into these two colors. And so there's different ways you can do blush. So if I did it like just in the middle of my mom's face, she'd already look like a clown. But if you just smile, you go on the apples and you bring it up a little bit, it gives her more of a natural look.
Yay!
other side. Okay. And then my favorite part, I think, of makeup is highlight. It just makes you shiny.
You can make me shiny.
So you just want to go on the very top of where you just like right here above where you did the blush. Give it that little glisten and go over here near the temple. And this is also a part of contouring. A lot of people think, oh no, it's just highlight.
Mm-mm.
It gives an illusion that you got really nice cheekbones.
But I do.
You do. It just makes it shiny.
Now, Evelyn.
Yes.
Kids at home always ask, Miss K, what do you do when your daughter doesn't do her homework?
I've never not done my homework. So
I know.
And I like to get the tip of the nose and like a little bit of the bridge of the nose just to give it that little extra. And then sometimes I'm extra. I go right above the lip on my crossbow. But that's very more extra. And then one last step kind of for the face is bronzer. Well, not bronzer, but like a contour. So you second your cheeks like a fish. And we're going to go...
Like that much?
Yeah. And we're going to start from up here. A lot of people like to start down here, but then it's darker down here, closer to your lip, when you want it to be a little bit more darker, closer to the ear. And then bring it down. Like that. And that's part of contouring. There's different ways to contour. You can do creams, powders, I like powders a little bit more because you can kind of control it a little easier. Make it darker if you want, lighter if you want. With creams, it's sometimes harder to control it, in my opinion. But it really just depends on your preference. You're the artist. It's how you like your tools and everything. Okay? So, before I get into eyes and stuff, I like to set the face before I do eyes, because if I do it after the eyes, sometimes...
If you don't, my face will just melt off onto the floor in a puddle?
Yeah, it will just start to melt. I mean, if you just set the face before I do eyeshadow, because, like, if you do with mascara already on, sometimes the mascara will come off and then it gets on your face, and then you have mascara on your face, and your whole look is gone. So, alright, close your eyes. And it's just a little cool, a little fresher, so.
You enjoyed that way too much.
I did.
You can get more here, though. Okay.
So, next part is eyes.
I'm doing this for you. Reds?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Purples.
Purples. Okay. So, this is my paint.
But it's not paint.
But it's not paint. It's eyeshadow. And there are different pigments you can do. There's pressed pigments. There's glittery, different shades. And then there can be loose powders as well. But when you do eyeshadow, you always want to start with a transition shade. And you start it in the crease and you kind of work it so it blends more with the other colors when you use it. So I'm going to dip into this color because we're going to go with purple look. So you close your eyes, Mom. You just want to start. And the trick with brushes is you want to keep your hand towards the end of the brush just so you have a little bit more control and you think, I won't have that much control. But if you're right here, you're just jamming it in. Just want to work it in. And a lot of people do one eye at a time, but can't do that because then I forget what colors did I use. It's not going to match as well, so I go one step on each side. Okay, and you always want to make sure they're somewhat even. Not all the time it's going to be like that. They're going to be more like sisters than twins. But okay, and next we're going to go in with this purple.
Show them up close how purple that is.
You know, with this purple right here.
Cool. All right.
And that's going to be kind of like the base. For the eyelid. Okay. And then we're going to go into this eyeshadow palette. Let's go with... So, different brushes, like just in regular class, like with painting, and different types of brushes work well with different applications. So, I'm going to go with this little smaller blender brush to get more in like the crease area, closer to our eyebrows, and just smoke it out a little bit. I'm going to go with...
Maybe like a purple and green.
No.
Gold.
I'm going to go with this one. And sometimes I like to blend eyeshadows together. I'm going to start on the outer corner of the eye and then work our way up.
Porch screen door.
now, what I like to do sometimes is I add like a shimmer, kind of, in the center just to give it that extra highlight on the eyes. Because you can also highlight and like kind of contour your eyes. I'm just going to go in the middle, right where the pupil would be. Okay. Do you want me to keep going, or do you like it?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Have fun.
So, and then
Go crazy.
another thing you can do with the eyes is you're going to want to open your eyes for this.
Okay.
Turn your head.
Mm-hmm.
So you look up more. You're going to want to, you can go under the eye to give it a more of a bigger
Pop.
pop. Yeah. So I'm going to go in, I think, with a pink. Pink. That's, I don't know if...
Pull it back a little bit so they can see. Yeah. Hot pink.
Hot pink.
Ooh, hot pink.
So we're going to go and start to over here just to blend it in with the eyeshadow up above. So it's not just all by itself. And then start to go underneath and blend it. Okay.
Hot pink.
And on the other side and match it. And also working with eyeshadows, you want to keep in mind the person's color of their eyes, because it can either clash and not look good, or it can really make their eyes pop. Yep.
Okay. Hot pink. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Okay. And I would do eyeliner, but I do not have any. So sometimes it's good to not. So we're just going to go in with mascara.
Okay.
Blink. It's funny. I remember Mom used to do this for me when I was
starting in
ballet, and I would cry and scream,
yeah.
and I hated it. How the tables have turned.
Wahaha.
And sometimes that's my favorite look, is just mascara and eyeshadow, because it can still be bold, but it doesn't have to be crazy.
Here we go.
Okay, so next we're gonna do lips. So because we did such a bold eye, we're gonna go with more with a nude lip, so it kind of contrasts, because you don't want to have a big bold eye and then crazy red. I mean, you can, but sometimes it's what's a little better with the contrast. And there we go.
There we go. Makeup done. Look at that. Woo! Thank you, Evelyn. All right. So, that's our makeup video for today. You're probably never going to see that ever again. But I'll be sure to upload this. I hope you enjoyed. And later today, I'm going to be showing you how to stitch some signatures together. And these become part of a book that will go together. And then we can bind it later on. And that's only if you wish. And again, this is just until we get back into school. You have something to watch besides your mom or dad or sisters and brothers run around the house, or grandma or grandpa, or your neighbors in the yard. I don't know. But we'll see you later. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye.